I want to show you this now.
Ke batla go bontsha se jaanong.
Death.
Leso,
The devil, watch this.
Satan, lebella se.
They call hell
Ba bitsa dihele.
the house of the devil.
Ntlo ya Satan.
It's not even the house of the devil.
A se ntlo ya Satan.
Hell
Dihele
is the house of death.
ke ntlo ya leso.
Death is only accommodating Satan.
Leso le no bolokela Satan fela mo go kontlong ya lona.
Satan was bound
Satan o ile a
and
tsamwa,
sent to hell.
mme a romela go diheleng.
It means hell is greater than the devil.
Go ra gore dihele di gaisa
If hell was not greater than the devil should have come out long time.
Satan en ka tswile na kgale.
The fact that he can't come out of it is to tell you that it has power over him.
Dihele di ne di matla go mo gaisa.
I told you hell
Ke le buitse gore dihele
is not a place
a se tulo
that is made up of rocks.
e dirileng.
Hell is a spiritual living organism.
Ke tulo ya semoya.
Hell can ride a horse and it has its spiritual horse.
Dihele di ne di pere ya yone ya semoya.
Look at the way you're looking at me. I told you to pray now. You're looking at me. I don't want you to say, I want you to understand what I'm teaching. Once you understand what I teach, you can never fear death again.
Hele ka tlhogeng se le gore ke a le ruta le ka se le tshabile leso gape.
Jesus did not come to conquer Satan. Satan is a prince. He's too small. You're not hearing what I'm saying. He did not come to fight. Don't think that Jesus came to fight the devil. According to what I'm teaching you, I'm showing you there was someone greater than the devil that was hidden, who is called death. Jesus did not come for Satan. He came for death. When he was hanged at the cross, who came? It's not Satan who came. It is death that came. It is the battle which is called Armageddon, where kings measure their strength. Armageddon means a place or a battle where kings measure their strength. Let me tell you, on the cross, on the mountain of Calvary, the devil was not there. Was not there. There was a king that appeared who's called death. He was the one who was ruling the whole world from Adam. Romans 5. He's been reigning. He is the one who caused Lucifer to fall. It was not Lucifer who was speaking, who said, I shall become like the Lord. It was not Lucifer, it was death speaking inside Lucifer. Is there a Bible school where they can teach you these things? It was death that was talking inside Lucifer. Because Lucifer never reigned. He never reigned. There's no way in the Bible. Show me in the Bible where they say the devil is ruling. There's no way where it's written that the devil is reigning. There's no way. Because the devil is not a king. It's a prince. The king is death. Jesus did not come to fight Satan. Satan is a small boy. He's a prince. He came for death. When he was at the cross, nailed there, who did he wait for? He was waiting for death. Because death is a king. Romans 5 verse 14 says, death reigned. To reign is to rule. When he says death ruled from Adam until who? Until who? From Adam until Moses, death was ruling and reigning. Remember, Moses is the mediator of the old covenant. So what Paul is revealing here is this. Paul is revealing this, that in both the lineage of Adam and the lineage of Moses, death was ruling. All the prophets who came, Elijah, they were under Moses. They were under Moses. Moses was a very great prophet. He was not measured with other prophets. He was measured with Jesus. It's only Moses that the Bible has ever compared with Jesus. There's no prophet that they've ever compared with Jesus except Moses. When you read Hebrews chapter 3, this is where they compare Moses with Jesus. They say Moses was faithful in the house of God but as a servant. But it says Jesus was faithful in the house of his father. It was Moses who came to us and told us that God is going to raise a prophet like him.
phagamisang profeta jaaka
He
ena.
was not talking about Abraham.
O ne a sa bue ka
He was
Abraham.
not talking about
O ne a sa bue ka-
no, I mean not Abraham. Abraham is older than brother Moses. What's happening? Okay, I'll fix it later. Because these people are ageless. Moses
Moshe
is the only prophet
ke moprofeta le esi
who is not a prophet
o e leng gore ga se moprofeta
but a spirit
fela ke moya
of a prophet.
moya wa moprofeta.
Are you seeing that?
La bona seo
Jesus
Jesu.
appeared in the Old
o
Testament,
bonagetse ko testamenteng ya
in the
bogologolo.
New Testament,
Testamenteng
and
e
still
ntšha.
to appear. Moses appeared in the Old Testament. He appeared in the New Testament in Matthew 17. He's going to appear again before the end of the world. Why? He's not a prophet, he's a spirit. He is a system.
Ke tsamaiso.
Are you hearing what I'm talking about?
Ala o tlile gore ke bua ka
Moses said, God is going to raise a prophet like me. When he speaks, he says, him you shall obey. He was not addressing to any prophets after him. He was addressing to the Messiah. He was addressing to Christ.
Kriste ka sebele.
Satan
Satan
does not have even a home.
ha na le lehae.
There's somebody who even
Go
today,
mongwe le gore le gompieno le.
that Jesus fought. The battle was so hot
Ntwa e ne e fisa.
between Jesus and death,
Magareng ga leso le
to the
Jesu.
point that even
Go
today,
fitlhela mo le gore le gompieno le.
even today,
Le gompieno le.
the battle is still continuing.
Ntwa e sentsane e tswela pele.
I didn't say since, like, I say even today.
Ke re gompieno.
How dare you say that
O
Jesus
bua
conquered
jang
everybody?
sentseng
That's
yana,
not what the
Jesu
Bible
fela.
says.
A se le gore Bibele ya se bua.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, it says the last enemy to be conquered is who? It means death is still reigning even today. It means there are two kings in this world, Jesus and death. Those who don't have Jesus have death. As their king. And the battle began at the cross. But the first round, Jesus knocked down death. And there is a last round that is left. This is when the Bible says now the last enemy to be conquered is death. Let me show you this. But it does not mean death is above God. Death has no place in heaven. That is why when Jesus came to establish his kingdom, he did not establish it in a form and in the dimension and on the ground of the earth. Because he knows that earth already has a king. And the king of earth is death. And he will remain the king as long as earth remains. That is why, Kala Brata, can you speak in tongues for a moment? Just speak in tongues. The things I'm teaching you, I'm not teaching you so that you just know. I teach you so that you can apply them in your life. This is a revelation that once you understand and perceive it by your spirit, it will change. You will no longer have fear in your life again. You will never have fear again in your life. The enemy doesn't want you to know what I'm teaching you. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Listen. Death is still a king today. It's still reigning. But it's no longer reigning the way it was reigning. Before it was reigning to everybody. There are some people today on this earth that can't reign in their life because of what Jesus has done. So when Jesus comes back, this whole earth is under the rulership of death, and death has established his kingdom to the point God cannot build his kingdom. That's why Jesus said when he came to this world, he says, pray this prayer. Say, let what is happening in heaven happen on earth. Why? Because what is happening on earth is not happening in heaven. Why? Because the king of earth is different from the king of heaven. The king that is ruling on earth is not the same king that is ruling in heaven. In heaven, God is ruling. On earth, death is ruling. He says, pray like this, let your kingdom come.
A mmuso wa gago o
Your
tle.
will be done. What is happening in heaven, let it happen on
A
earth.
ke se diragale mo lefatsheng.
Elohim Adonai, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Elohim Adonai, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Watch this. There was no way God will establish his kingdom on earth.
Mmuso wa gae mo lefatsheng.
He can't establish it here.
A ka se kgone go tlhomisa mmuso wa gae mo lefatsheng.
The earth belongs to someone.
Lefatshe go ne le mongwe le gore wa le busa.
And he didn't form it.
Mme motho ga le
And it does not mean God does not have power to remove death.
ga o kae gore
There's
Modimo
something
ga
that you
ana
don't
maatla
understand
go
about
go
God.
sengwe se le gore a le se tlhaloganye ka Modimo.
There are certain demons, no matter you can come in the name of Jesus, you can't cast them out. Because they don't fear the name. They fear the knowledge you have about the name. God is the... That's why I'm saying this message is dangerous, because once you misunderstand this message, you will have fear for the rest of your life. I don't mean that God can't defeat death. God is honoring the principle that death is ruling, using to rule. Death did not come. See, I want to show you this. Death is the real king what is this word? That initiated the devil. And now death and the devil. Death now is ruling through the devil. I want to show you this. The authority that was given to death. Death because he's a king. Where have you ever seen a king going everywhere to chase people, to arrest them? Do you know the person who's arresting people who are breaking the law in South Africa is not the police, it's President Cyril Ramaphosa? Okay, don't lie because you don't understand. The police are not coming with the authority to arrest you. They are using the authority of President Cyril Ramaphosa. He is the one who gave them the authority to arrest you once you break the law. So police are exercising the presidency's authority. The devil does not have power. The authority that the devil is using is the authority that belongs to death. Death is a king. It ordained the devil as a subject, and it gave him its authority. Let people fear you, I don't have a problem. As long as you are establishing my kingdom, as long as it is I who's ruling and reigning. The same way Pharaoh said to Joseph, I ordain you, if you are going to become higher than everyone in this kingdom except me. Death said to the devil, you are going to become above everyone except me. People, they will know you more than they know me. But I don't care. As long as it is my kingdom you are pushing. Are you hearing what I'm teaching here? Are you hearing what I'm teaching here? The devil has a master. I didn't hear this from a pastor somewhere. I don't preach people's sermon. This is a revelation that I received directly from the Lord. The devil is not a king, he's a prince. Death is the king. It's the one that is reigning. Even today, in lives of people who don't have Christ, death rules. Death is a subject of God. Father, help me to teach this in a way that it will profit them. Let them not just enjoy this great revelation and mysteries, but let them grab something that they will apply in their lives. Listen. Death was not intended. When death is a servant of God. Do you know in heaven they don't use cars, they use horses.
La itse gore ko legodimong ga ba dirise dijanaga ba dirisa dipere
It is not everyone who has a horse in heaven.
a se batho botlhe le gore ba nang dipere ko mo
Those who have horses are those who are entrusted with greater authority and power
le bolaodi le matla a gaisang
by God.
ba file ke modimo
Death
leso
has a horse.
le na le pere
Death has a color.
leso le na le mmala
Many think death is black. It's not
Batho ba
black.
ke
Death
gore
is
leso le
blue.
le ntsho.
The color of death is not blue. It's not black. It's blue.
mmala wa leso ga se le
Wa bona?
ntsho ke le le blue
The face of death is not white.
Sefatlhego
Neither
sa
black,
leso
it's
ga
pale.
se-
Death has a face.
leso le na le sefatlhego
Has a skin color.
Leso
Pale
le
in
na le-
color. He's pale on the face. His skin color is blue. And he has a horse.
leso le tlhoka madi mo sefatlhegong mme mmala wa lona ko mo
They talk about Madi. What are you saying? Can you pray for them? I told you to pray. Can you hear what's happening now? When I was saying pray, you are surprised. When did you ever ask us to pray before you teach? Today. Horses in heaven
dipere legodimo
are a sign of ones who have the
It's
presidential authority.
ya bana le bolaodi
In
ba
heaven.
bo presidente legodimong
Do you know the reason why John cried in heaven that there was no one who could break the seven seals?
jona o lile legodimong a re ga ona ope le gore a ka
It was not because the seals were powerful, but it was because of those seals were a representation of certain spirits that are given authorities.
memoya e rileng e filweng bolaodi
Which those spirits,
e le mo le gore memoya eo
they were given authority by God.
bolaodi
And they used the same authority that was God given to hinder people to find out what is inside the scroll. It's not the issue of the scroll. I mean, it's not the issue of the seals. Someone say, it means those seals, they were made up of steel. It's not about the strongness of the seal. It's about the who is it that this seals is representing? There were 7 seals. The 5th one was representing death. Meaning death is fighting with grace. Because prophetically number 5 is a symbol of grace. But then the seal number 5, when the voice of God say come, he says the writer, I saw a horse coming. Its rider was pale in face. His name was called death. I was expecting grace. So watch this. Jesus is not fighting with death to reign in earth. The same way death sent its servant Satan, Jesus sent his servant grace. Grace is fighting with death in these days. Even as I talk right now, death and grace are fighting until the return of Jesus, who's gonna come and end and defeat death. How? Revelations 20, and he says he will take death and throw it inside the lake of fire. That will be the end of death. But even today, death is wrestling together with grace. If you carry grace, you can't die. I will never be the same. I have touched your grace. My life shall change. I will never be the same. I have touched your grace. My life shall change. My life shall change. My life shall change. My life shall change. The battle is not between God or neither Jesus with death. It's between grace. Jesus on the cross, he did not find death. Death is too small. It's not in the level of Jesus. Rather, when Jesus was at the cross, when death came running, Jesus released his servant. He says, Grace, go and fight him. The same Romans chapter 5. Watch it now. Read from verse 14 there. I have touched your grace, my life shall change. Read verse 14. Be the same, I have touched your grace, my life shall change. I will never be the same. I have touched your grace, my life shall. Read from verse 14.
Romans 5 verse 14. Nevertheless,
yes,
death reigned from Adam to Moses.
Was it the devil who was reigning? You can't reign unless you are a king. Death was the king who was reigning, not Satan. Read.
Even over them that had not sinned, after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come. But not as the offense, so also is the free gift.
Who was the figure of him who was to what? Adam was a figure of one who was to come. Who's that? The Christ. Satan, when he entered into the garden, he was a figure of one who was to come. Death. Remember, how did death come? It came through Satan. Satan entered and deceived men. He deceived Adam so that a way can be paved. His boss to come in. He's a messenger, the devil. The boss is death. And Romans 5 verse 14 says, death came through one man. He didn't say the devil came. Death, not the devil. I mean 1 Corinthians chapter 15. I'm sorry. 1 Corinthians 15. It says, death came through one man. Have you seen that? And watch this. It says, so that the same way death reigned, grace must also reign through righteousness. Jesus is not asking to reign on earth. He said, my kingdom is not of this world. How can you want to reign here? He's not even looking, he's not interested in reigning. That's why Satan took him to the highest building. And he says, look at everything. He didn't show him houses, he showed him kingdoms. And he says, look at all the kingdoms. They are mine. And he was not lying. They are his. And Jesus said, it is written, you shall not worship anyone except the Lord thy God. Listen to what Satan said. He didn't say all the things, the power and the glamour that is in this world is mine. Listen to his tense. All that you are seeing here is mine. For it has been given unto me. They were never his from the beginning. He took them from somebody. From Adam. That is why God cannot just come and say, Satan, give away your power. The principles that the devil is using are the same principles of God. That's what keeps the battle still going on even today. Not that the devil is powerful than God. God above all. Psalms 38 verse 2, he has exalted his word and his name. So anyone who uses the word of God, God can fight. The devil is not called the king, he's called the accuser. If you are an accuser, it means you are a servant. You are not the master. A master does not go around accusing people. A judge does not question people. A judge speaks and declares, and it is so. Accusers are lawyers. Death is the king.
lehu ke kgoši.
Satan is the subject of death.
Satan ke mo-
Death is ruling as a judge.
Lehu le a busha jwale
Satan will come and accuse you, you are a sinner, you are doing this. And master declared sentence. And then say your sentence is death, you are dying today.
Sekwebo. Ke moka lehu la bolela la re o lekono wa kwa lekono go fedile.
That's what is happening
Ke se se diragalang.
to the lives of people who don't have God.
Maphelong a batho ba e le gore ga bana Modimo.
Christ in their lives.
Kreste.
Are you seeing that?
A re bona seo.
That's what is happening to the lives of people who don't have God. Christ in their life. Who don't live for
Kreste
Him.
maphelong a bona ba sa mo pheleleng.
Death can still affect them.
Lehu le santse le ka ba ama.
But even today,
E fela le lekono.
while death
Mola lehu
is reigning,
le busha.
it still acknowledges
Le santse le amogela le go lemoga
that God is the Most High.
gore Modimo ke ramatla ohle.
Death still acknowledges because death from the beginning was a servant of God.
E be e le mohlankedi wa Modimo.
The authority that death has
Tetla e lehu le nang
does
le
not
yona,
come from itself.
ga e tswe mo go
It
lona,
comes from
go lona.
God.
E tswa go Modimo.
That's why God was using death.
Ke baka le Modimo ba se
Death was once an angel that could represent God. I want you to see that the one who had pride was not Lucifer, was death. The one who had too much glory was not Lucifer, was death. Do you know why? Because it was only death who can come, who could come in the form of God. Lucifer could not come in the form of God. He was an angel of worship. Death is the one who could come. Is the one that when God was talking to, He will address death as Him. Pride began with death, not with Lucifer. Don't worry, I'll show this mystery. I'll show this mysteries. That it was death. Exodus chapter 12. Let me show you this. Exodus chapter 12. Let me show you. Can you be fast today, please? Because we have a lot of verses to open. Exodus chapter 12. Are you there? You have to be fast. Verse 23. Only 23. Read.
Exodus 12, verse 23.
Listen.
For the Lord will pass through to slay.
Can you lift up your voice?
For the Lord will pass through to slay the Egyptians. And when he sees the blood upon the lintel and the two side posts, the Lord will pass over
Who is the
door.
Lord? Who is the Lord?
and-
Who is this Lord? Is death. He was called after the name of God. He was not called death. If you think if there was someone who had the right to be proud, it's not even Lucifer. Lucifer was called Lucifer. And the name Lucifer is not even mentioned in the name of God. It is death who had the reason to be proud more than everybody. Because when they were looking at him, addressing him, they were calling him the Lord. And pride entered. And he said, you know what? I don't have influence because people fear me. Even when I appear, angels flee. Let me look for a subject. Let me look for an angel who has influence in heaven. And he entered Lucifer. Because Lucifer was an angel that other angels could interact with. He was leading angels. So they said, let me enter Lucifer. They can approach him. They can approach me. And Lucifer found himself manifesting a first demon. I shall become like the Lord. I shall reign. Did he ever reign? He has never reigned. It was not him. It was death. When God kicked out Satan, he found that also death found a way to exit. Exit. Because death was tired of becoming a servant of God. He was enjoying the glory of being called God. Every time they are saying Lord, Lord to him, Lord, and they turn, they say Lord to Jesus. He say, why are you now turning? You were saying it right to me. He said, I have to come out of this place so that you can call me Lord alone. And he says, I can't come out in a way that I will reveal my plan to God. Let me look for somebody. I will enter him. And he knew that God does not fight angels. So he entered Lucifer. And what happened? When war started in heaven, Angel Michael fought with who?